Welcome to another episode of Japanverse exclusive. Today we are on a grocery run and you're coming with us. If you want to know what a typical grocery shopping day looks like here in Japan, then stay tuned to this video. Let's go. Of course, summer is the time for frozen treats. And this Meiji brand ice cream is one of our favorites. This strawberry and vanilla mix is very new on the market and we are absolutely loving it. Now, on the topic of new things, this peach flavored Fanta is also pretty new and we just started seeing it recently. Because chocolates that are not kept in the fridge tends to be melty in summertime, we opted for this temperature-resistant chocolate that are very good for popping in your bag for a quick treat on the move. As you can tell, we are grabbing snacks first, and I'll tell you why soon. These green pea snacks are tasty and packed with dietary fiber. It's a favorite of ours and it's really just a tasty snack that is also good for you. Anyways, we don't do all of our shopping in the same place, and because of that, we are mainly just grabbing snacks in this store, and then we'll move on to another one where we will grab most of the other basic things. We are currently in a supermarket called Gyomu, and it's a chain supermarket, so you can find this one all over Japan. We like coming here for snack food and so on because it has a great blend of Japanese goods and also international goods too. Not to mention that you'll get some of the best prices here. I have a sweet tooth and I really like getting this Japanese sweet that is called haichu. And you can get these in the supermarket for like 88 yen, but if you pick them up at like a convenience store, you're paying over 100 yen for one of these. So if you are traveling to Japan and you're looking to save some cash while you're here, and you're planning to cook in your hostel or your Airbnb, then definitely this video may be helpful for you. If you're someone who just wants to grab some snacks and you usually just head straight to the convenience stores to do so, and you wanna, as I said, save some cash, then it's very beneficial for you to go to Japanese supermarkets instead to pick up your regular snacks and your basic food, because you'll save so much money than you can at the convenience store. A convenience store is convenient because it's open 24 hours and you can get almost anything there. So they're so good and the locations are really good. But if you really want to save money on the things that you buy, go to the supermarket. We're now transferring to our next location, which is a supermarket that is called Tachiya. Unfortunately, this supermarket is only located in Aichi, Mie, and Gifu prefectures. However, the setup in this supermarket is typically what you'll find in any supermarket here in Japan. We like this supermarket because of the variety of fresh fruits and vegetables. It also has this small section of the supermarket that is a dedicated farmers market, and it allows like small farmers from the community to display their produces, and we can get to buy and support the community through this small action. We are now at Tachiya supermarket, and this is where we will buy most of our vegetables and fruits. Here in Japan, it is important to note that fruits change based on seasons, because you'll see that there are going to be some fruits or some vegetables that are more prominent during certain seasons of the year, and also the prices also reflect that as well. So if it's a season that is favorable for this fruit or vegetable, then the prices will be a lot lower. or a lot higher if they're out of season items and they have to be like imported into the country, so you can keep that in mind as well. Now, keep in mind that we are just giving you a view of typically what you can get at a Japanese supermarket. You'll also see some of the prices reflected here. For example, that $2.98 that you see in the background, that is the price for one pack of these sweet potatoes. So that's 298 yen. Typically, you can get paper towels or paper kitchen towels at a drugstore, but we usually grab them here because of the price. Now, these are some of the fruits that are popular this season. So melon and all of these ones are popular during this season. You won't see these all year round because they come with the season, as I mentioned before. The numbers you're seeing in red, those are the prices per fruit or per item. I like smelling pineapples before I buy them because my logic is the sweeter the pineapple smells, that's as sweet as the pineapple will taste. I didn't say there's a science behind this is just my logic. This pineapple cost 398 yen. These Irish potatoes were actually a little higher than usual, and thus my hesitation at first. Usually you can get like a bag of these Irish potatoes for $3.98, but on this specific day we saw them for $4.98, and I was a bit hesitant as to whether I wanted to take them, but I really use a lot of potatoes, so I just went for them. Watermelons are a really popular summer fruit here in Japan, but they tend to be a bit expensive if you asked me. The prices are a little high, but Japanese watermelons are known for being really sweet, really tasty, and thus I think they're 100% worth their price range. You can find bananas and lemons all year round in Japan, and thus these are a staple grocery item for us. So for this one, you can get 2 lemons for 150 yen. So 150 yen gives you 2 lemons. We're now going to head over to the farmers market section of the supermarket, and this section tends to sell out really fast. So depending on the time of day that you come, some items may not be available. From this section, we took some eggplants. Also got some beans as well, and in case you're wondering about the price difference between the farmers market and the regular vegetable section in the supermarket, those eggplants that we got at the farmers market was 150 yen, and usually you'll get those for around 298 or 300 yen. These beans are 150 yen, and usually they sell for 398 yen. The strawberry season is somewhat coming to a close, so you don't see as many big and juicy strawberries as we would have in the peak of winter. These are ginger, and 2 packets of this ginger cost 150 yen. It is very rare to find these kind of cucumbers here in Japan. Usually they're a lot more skinny or slender, so thus showing them. These right here are Goya or bitter melon in English, and these are pretty popular with Japanese shoppers. Here we have some baby corns that are going for 150 yen per pack. The prices of carrots are a bit higher than usual as well. Usually you can get one pack of carrots for 200 yen or 150 yen. It is very rare in Japan to find like a whole chicken being sold. This is usually how you find a chicken being sold in Japan, by different parts and different portion. You really don't usually see a lot of whole chicken. The frozen food section of Japanese supermarkets are usually pretty massive because you can get almost anything frozen. Full meals, partial meals, fruits, vegetables, you name it, it's probably there. Another huge section of Japanese supermarkets are usually the bento section or a bento section, and this is where you can find pre-prepared food that are freshly made for the day and are ready to go. These are pretty popular in Japan, and it's a really good way. I always recommend this one. It's a really good way to try Japanese food at a really low price, low commitment. If you are not sure if you like a certain Japanese food and you don't want to go sit in a restaurant and then see if you like it, then you can always just pop into a supermarket, go to the bento section, and just try Japanese food. They're pretty inexpensive and are well prepared. Another money saving tip is that these go on sale at the end of the day depending on when the supermarket closes. So for example, if the supermarket closes at 6 p.m., then these will be discounted from like 4 p.m. So if you're looking to save on money, then you can also go and get the same food at the end of the day, and they'll be all discounted because these food are made fresh every day, so they don't keep food over until the next day, so they have to get them out. So anything that is left over close to closing time will go on sale or will be discounted to some extent. However, the best things will usually go first, so it's like the other things that are left over and discounted. But I thought this would be a useful tip. While fresh fish is always readily available in Japanese supermarket, they also do have frozen fish that are usually a lot cheaper than the fresh fish. So if you are looking to cut back as well, then definitely check out the frozen fish section. And if you want it fresh, there's no issue. There's always fresh fish in Japanese supermarket and fresh for that day. They don't keep them over too long either, so definitely check that out depending on your needs. So we are actually finished shopping at this Tachia supermarket, and we're gonna move on to our third location for the day, which is also a Gyomu supermarket but different from the one that we were at before. Why, you might ask? That is because even though Gyomu is a chain supermarket and you can find them in almost everywhere in Japan, and while the stores typically have the same thing, there will be some stores that don't have a certain product or a certain brand of things, and so that is why we hop around a lot. But it's not really that big of a deal. It's just a slight difference, but important to us, of course. Now here we are at our last stop for the day, and we're going to be grabbing mostly pantry items here, so stay tuned. So we decided to get the carrots here because the prices were just better, and it was a lot less than the portion before, which also means that we won't waste anything. These are paprikas, and they're 298 yen for 2 of them. The negis here are 298. What do you call these in your country? In Japan, it's called a negi. In my country, we call them scallions, and I think some people call them green onions. These are some refrigerated items, and we are going to grab some jelly. As I mentioned before, sweet tooth. A pack of these are for 88 yen. So one pack has 3 inside, and all 3 of those are for 88 yen. They have orange, grape, and coffee jelly, but I'm going for just the orange and the grape. This is the frozen food section I told you about before. As I said, very massive. You can get almost anything frozen in a Japanese supermarket. As you can see here, there's avocado, dragon fruit, peaches, all sorts of things. It's summertime, and frozen fruits are really good if you're making smoothies, or if you want to make like homemade popsicles, icicles, what do you call them? You know what I'm talking about. If you want to make homemade icicles, then these frozen fruits are really good for doing that. If you're wondering how frozen jackfruits taste, they're pretty good. Just wait until they thaw a little bit. Really good, great flavor. We are going to grab a pack of blueberries that are 458 yen for 500 grams. What we like about Gyomu is that you can find things like lemongrass paste in here, because as I mentioned before, there's a really nice blend of Japanese regular goods and international goods as well. And you might notice that in our cart earlier you saw like some other products that we didn't show. There was a video we made of us grabbing like oyster sauce and vinegar, but it was recorded badly and we had to discard it. Anyways, here's the lemongrass paste. We actually did not come to this section of the supermarket for the lemongrass paste. We came to pick up a few herbs and spices here and there. And here we are, we're gonna grab not the rosemary, we're gonna grab some basil. And that is 98 yen for 1 bottle of basil. So we are back in another snack aisle of a supermarket, and don't judge us, we snack a lot. But anyways, Gyomu has a good collection of international snacks that you can try, and so it's a good location for you to go if you want to try something that is not Japanese. If per se you're someone who lives in Japan and you want to try something that is not so Japanese, or you just want to try something new, then Gyomu is a really good place to grab some international snacks. These plantain chips, they come in two different flavors, which is the salted flavor and the jalapeno flavor. And both of them are green plantain chips, so they're not ripe plantain chips. And we decided to just get both of them because they're both really good flavors. We are almost finished with our shopping, but no Japanese supermarket is complete without some instant ramen or just ramen overall. So here we are in the ramen section of the supermarket, and Gyomu has like a really good mixture of different type of noodles. You can get the regular Japanese noodles, you can also get Thai noodles, and you can get Korean noodles. There's so many variety of noodles that you can get from different countries, and they're all very good. So if you really like noodles, then check out if there's like a Gyomu near you, and there's probably a Gyomu near you because there's so many of them all over Japan. Really good connection of local and foreign noodles. These are all rice noodles here. Most of them are Vietnamese rice noodles, the others are from Thailand. This one here is gluten-free rice noodle, and it's instant noodle. So that's a good point to note. I don't know what to call this section of the supermarket, but this is where you can find the beans, peas. You can also find like rice paper, like so many things in this section, thus me not knowing what to call it. But we are just going to grab some red beans because these are a staple in our household. This is the canned goods section of the supermarket that we are about to turn on to, and they have a really wide variety of canned goods here in Gyomu. Next to the canned goods section are just a bunch of breakfast item things, so you can find like maple syrup, chocolate syrup, peanut butter, nut butter, all sorts of different breakfast items. These are small canned juices, and this one right here is orange juice, and it is 68 yen per can. Yeah, that's right, 68 yen per can. The canned lemon tea is for 38 yen. Now, before we head out, we are just gonna go to the nuts section of the supermarket as well, and we will grab a bag of pistachio that is 570 yen per bag. We really hope that you enjoyed this video. Let us know what you think about it in the comments. And just so you know, we post videos about Japan, like anything Japan related, about living in Japan, traveling in Japan, anything that is Japan related. We post new videos every week, so you can look out for that. If you don't want to miss an upload, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification button so you don't miss when we make an upload. Thank you for staying tuned and see you in the next upload.